Hello and welcome. Good morning. Let me just get a few links up. Should have put the links up yesterday. How are you all doing? Nice to see you on a Sunday. Will that work? Oh. Too many. It is time to build the jump pack Intercessors. Yes. Bit of a late night last night. Building the old Terminators and speaking to people in the Discord as well. So that's all cool. So yeah, let's build these then. We'll just kick it. It's only 2 sprues, so it's not like the Terminators, which were 3. And probably if I get these done quite quick, I'll build the captain, because I didn't quite manage to do that last night. So these look relatively sort of straightforward. 8 and 7, and they say you do this, so the jump packs are the same for all of them, so we might as well just do these jump packs. It's just really nice that we've got jump pack Intercessors, you know. I should have got a pack of like 5 Intercessors to see if I could then, you know, at least change their legs or something. Nothing wrong with having normal Intercessors walking about with jump packs. So 8, 7, 5 and 6 for these jump packs, so we'll get these done. I haven't actually released the unboxing of these, have I? There's 3 unboxings coming out next week, which will be the Terminator Chaplain Terminator armor, then I think the Captain with jump pack, then I think the jump pack Intercessors. So yeah, that's next week's videos. And then there are 2 Tyranid videos towards the end of the week. I wish that the Saturday next week was the Horus Heresy box set, but that's a 2-week pre-order window. So we're going to have to wait a little while for that, which is fine, because it means that I should be able to get out the, dare I say it, Lieutenant, Brutalis, Honor Guard and Stern Guard unboxings from next weekend. And then we can start at least with the reviews of these. Before we get into Nidvember. When I say there's going to be some Nid content coming to the channel during Nidvember, we're talking mainly painting. I don't know if I've got anything to build. I think I might have some old Gene Stealers to build, but yeah, I don't. I'm not going to put anybody through that torture, or myself through that torture actually. Let's just get all the heads off as well. There's a lot of heads in this set. It's quite cool. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 7, 8. I don't think that's a head. I think that is just a helmet. So that means the total number of heads is, I think I said like 13 in the unboxing. 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, so there's actually 12 heads, because when I say I miscounted, I sort of counted this as a head, and it's not. It's just a helmet that kind of clips onto the belt or side, so that doesn't really count. Right, that's almost half of one sprue gone already. So we have 6s on the left and 5s on the right. So for these thrusters. Hope you're all doing well today. I have a little bit of a headache, but I'm struggling through it. Not really sure why. It might be to do with the weather. Don't know if anybody else gets that. If there's like something, there's like a pressure change in the weather, and that certainly affects my temples. And then yeah, I mean, it doesn't render me immobile, but it just yeah, makes me a bit sluggish and a bit of a headache. But I'm here for everyone today. Right. And then they want you to kind of work on the sergeant first of all, which I will. And of course, classic power sword and plasma pistol for me, for him. Let me just read a few of your comments before we continue. Yeah. Hello, Revan. Good to see you again. Oh, I better just can I pin that message? There we go. That's better. What's your disappointment of this kit? I've literally just opened it. Well, I haven't. I opened it for the unboxing, but I don't know. I think special weapons for this kit. I think the previous Legacy Space Marine kit, we had like we definitely had a flame end, and I'm pretty sure we had a plasma gun, and that would have been quite awesome to have. You know, one special weapon. Jump pack Intercessor, but oh, sorry, I just got to get myself sorted. There we go. Yeah, but as it stands, just bolt pistols and chain swords, and then yeah, it's very meh, I think. If you can get over the hype of having jump pack Intercessors, which is pretty cool, you know, it actually offers less than than a Legacy kit. But then again, it's probably because towards the end of the Legacy Space Marines, they did churn out some very awesome kits, like the Devastator squad kit. You know, 2 of every heavy weapon, and that's a really good kit. And the Assault squad kit, I think it was so good I bought it twice, I think. Saw your video earlier. Ship scale is too small. I don't know. If anything, it's too big. Like, those ships are way bigger than the Star Destroyer and things. So maybe the Star Destroyer is too small. It's perspective, isn't it? Like, the Super Star Destroyer is too small. Like, they don't go on scale though, Revan. You know this. You know, I think me and you have had discussions about the Super Star Destroyer before in the comments. I'm sure I remember. Like, at the end of the day, they have to have a game system for it. You know, it's not like this where most of the things are trying to be in a similar scale. I mean, the Titans should be bigger. There's no doubt about that. But the thing is, if they make them bigger, they will cost more. And also, would they fit on a table? It's like, I'd love a Star Destroyer to be way bigger than like the Corvette, the Rebel Corvette, you know, because the Corvette's supposed to fit underneath and inside the docking bay of the Star Destroyer, but in game terms it's just not possible to make a Star Destroyer to be, you know, I say to scale in a way. So yeah, they have to have a game system, and especially for Armada, it's a case of, what was I going to say about Armada? It's a case of there's no hobby aspect to it at all, really, unless you want there to be. Not like Warhammer or Gunpla or anything like that. Like, you literally get the pieces out the box, you put them on their stands, and you're good to go. You're good to game. There's not really any building. There's not really any painting. You know, you can play with those little ships straight out the box. You know, I know a lot of people do spray them and shade them though. Don't they get a plasma gun as well? Morning, Creasman, how you doing? Gene Stealers, yes, they are. But the thing is, the mold lines on the current Gene Stealer kit, the new one, are a bit of an effort, but they're not as bad as the old kit. Only in the sense that there are slightly fewer mold lines in the new kit, but they're easier to, I say, remove. The old kit, there's a lot of mold lines and they are hard to remove. So, you know. Yeah, well, that's a little bit misleading, really. Getting the jump packs. You know, you're saying you can get 10 Intercessors and 10 jump packs. Well, they don't sell these jump packs individually, so you can't really do that. I mean, the jump packs that you can probably find individually are for the Legacy Space Marines, but yeah, it's up to you. I mean, you know, this kit exists. For me, it's like saying I'm not going to pay £40 for a Terminator squad when I can get 5 Terminators for 25 quid or 20 quid, you know, and they still count as Terminators. Like, this is a thing. Own it. Like, I get so frustrated with the community when they push and push and push all the time for, oh, true scale this, bigger size this, and whatever, and then they don't just cough up the money. It's like, great, okay, well, what was the point then? It's a bit like people that want like the big Titans, like a War Master Titan or something like that. Like, oh, I'd love to see a bigger Titan, and you know, all the rest of it. And then they'll just go and 3D print it when it comes out. It's like, great, okay. Well, you know, I know you can't factor for that, but at least if you want something, and you actually voice it, support it afterwards. Like, you know, it's just crummy. I mean, it's not to the same crumminess as sort of scalpers that will just, you know, pre-order lots of limited edition stuff and then, you know, get you to pay double for it. That's quite a crappy move. But yeah. Anyway, yeah, you're welcome, Creasman. Good to see you here, man. Good to see you again. How did you get on with your hobby stuff yesterday? I was in the Discord chat, but I guess you were sort of busy or something. But it'd be good to catch up again. Hope you and your family are doing well and things. They are jolly. New Gene Stealers are great. Yeah, as per my review, they're one of my favourite kits of the new Tyranid range. I mean, this is the thing, like, it's tricky because I would always prefer slightly worse kind of posed models in exchange for more parts and customization. I'd always say that. I'd like slightly less detail and slightly better, slightly worse looking posed models for more of them and customization. I'd always go for that. So if the Gene Stealers looked a bit worse, but you got like 20 of them and you got more spare parts, I'd rather take that. But as it stands, Games Workshop seem to be creating more finely detailed minis with way better poses, but less options and fewer of them. So that's where we are right now. Is it dumbing down? Yeah, I probably would stand by that. I think it is dumbing down on the hobby and on hobbyists. You know, I don't know why they're doing that. Does it make it easier for hobbyists, new hobbyists, to get into the hobby? Probably, because like the combat patrols, having the monopose kits in the combat patrols, it's like one and done sort of thing, you know, which is a bit sad because I think a lot of enjoyment comes out from like posing your model and having options. I think there's a lot of enjoyment to have from that side of the hobby. But no worries, Kriegsman, no worries. Sorry that you didn't get that much sleep the night before. We've all been there. No worries. It was a bit of a late one last night. And I nearly wasn't with you all today, so yeah, I got a message asking to cover, so I turned that down. I said no, I've already planned for today. I've already told a few people that I'd be here with you while you're building or painting. So yeah, I have refused extra work. I am a man of my word a lot of the time, and if I say I'm going to do something like this, then I'm not going to disappoint anyone. So, because I know these videos, these live streams can be important to you all. So, and also I need to build these. You know, at the end of the day, like I need to build these and review these for the channel. So if I can do that. But that'll be a good weekend for me if I can kind of build all of the things that I got yesterday. Puts me in a good position for next weekend. You know, for the other minis. And puts me in a good position for the Horus Heresy minis and the Mark IIIs. I don't know whether I build like all 30 of them. I'll try. I'm certainly not going to build the Proteus Land Raider. I'm just going to grab one of my pre-built ones. I think I've got two that I've built. I'm always on the lookout for more of those Land Raiders. I've got plenty of Spartans now, plenty of Kratoses, but definitely Land Raider Proteuses. I need quite a lot for the 6 legions. Because some of the legions you can't take a Spartan as a dedicated transport, which is awful. I don't know why. Really odd that Grave Wardens can't take it. I kind of guess the like mentality of Death Guard, you know, like slowly trudging forward, and all the rest of it. But come on, you know, they can take land raiders in other parts of their army. I would expect that they could take land raiders in for their unique squads, but they can't, which sucks. Well, they can, but you have to use it as a heavy support choice. And that heavy support choice, you could, you know, take a Morbius or something. It's a late one for you, yep. Yeah, that's a good point, Revan. Yeah, it is important to say no, definitely. I take it you're talking about like work, and you know, I think you're still talking about work when it comes to that. Yeah, but for me, usually, like I very rarely say no anyway. But you know, if I do, it's because I have made other plans, and this was the plan today. You know. But you're right. You know, if you do like hours or shifts or whatever, and you stick to them, and you're very rarely off ill, or you're very rarely swapping shifts, that's great. And then on top of that, if you like cover some shifts as well, that's fantastic. I think you kind of deserve the right to say no for extra cover if you need to go in. I think you know, it's not looked at. It's a bonus. You're helping out, I think. Yeah, thank you, Kriegman. Yeah, thank you. Where would be? Where would we be? Where would I be without Super Saiyan and the final noises? Yeah, I know. Well, it beats sort of annoying Mechanicus music on a loop, doesn't it? I think, anyway. Because in a way, you can, you know, you can put your own music on right now. Like, if you've got more than one device, or maybe a CD player. I'm really going back to the 90s here, aren't I? Or record player. You could put a bit of music on. It's Sunday night. You haven't got any of your new miniatures yet. Do you get deliveries on a Sunday? Do you even get deliveries on a Saturday? Where did you order them from as well? Games Workshop? Isn't the new box come with 30 weapon options? The new box. The new box. What new box? What, the Termagants or? Oh, I think you mean. Do you mean the Horus Heresy box? I don't know. There's a special weapon upgrade set though in there, which is nice of them to include. I wish they included all of the other upgrade sets, like the heavy weapon set, and you know, there's certainly enough Space Marines in there, and it would encourage people to get that set. You know, 30 extra Space Marines on top of what, the 40 or 30 that you got from, was it 30 you got in Age of Darkness box set? Yeah. if you do get a few of the new Horus Heresy box sets, you know, if you get two, you'll have a full talent of Deredio Dreads. Yeah, I guess so. But at the moment, two's enough for me. I think I just want one of each, really. I just want 4, you know. So I'm happy to wait now that they've built the radio. They're going to have to bring out the different weapon versions, aren't they? They'll just bring out another kit that'll have the Volkite and the las cannons, right? I'm sure. And when they do that, I'll just buy 2 of them, and that's me done. 4 radios is fine. I think I've got about 6 Leviathans or something, so I need to start getting Dreadnought drop pods. I wish they did bring out the Dreadnought drop pod in plastic. I hope they do. I'd get a few of those. I can't see why they wouldn't do that now. If anything, it'd push sales of plastic Leviathan, which I've said for a while now. Australian system is similar. Okay, thank you. That's cool. So that means that you'd normally get your post on a Saturday. Okay. Yeah. Nice one, Brandon. Yeah, that's what I was suggesting. Because then you got the freedom. Like, I do talk a lot, but you know, you can always put your own background music on. The German retailers don't have the minis yet, and now telling me they won't have them until next Friday. Ooh, that could be a logistic sort of supply issue there. Sorry to hear that. That's yeah, disappointing, especially considering that there's been a 2-week pre-order for these. As I say, I'll order the other Space Marine kits next week. They should be with me on Saturday morning. And thanks to Ed, obviously I'll get the codex as well. I don't want to get the codex, but Ed has, yeah, donated to the channel for that, so I will get it. And it means I'll have the rules for all of these. And it also means I could probably do another video comparing, because I didn't get 9th edition Tyranid Codex, so I'll actually have a 9th edition Space Marine and 9th edition, oh sorry, and 10th edition Space Marine, so I can compare them both, which is cool. So that'll be another video. Those videos do take a long time though, probably about 2 or 3 hours, maybe about 3 hours they take, yeah. Hello. Yeah. Hello, go for it. How are you doing? Some cities post office open Saturday. Oh, nice one. Nearest official Games Workshop is a 2-hour one-way trip. Wow, that's yeah, that is quite a journey. For me, it's almost an hour, one way, on this small island, you know. One-hour trip to be asked what I'm doing and what I'm collecting, and then another hour to explain what I'm currently working on. Yes, is my answer. Oh, so what army do you collect? Well, about that. I honestly wish I had a better rapport with the store. But it's Games Workshop corporate through and through, really, isn't it? They kind of have to go on what HQ say and do and want you to do. So, oh wow, that is a fair distance. That is a fair distance. Morning, Maxim. Good to see you. It would be easier, yeah. I don't collect tau. That's it. That's all I need to say. I don't collect tau. Now show me your null noil shelf. I do actually need some null noil. I'm going to find out what time my local gaming store closes today. See if I can grab a couple of bottles, because I know I'll need it for Seraphon. I was thinking about spraying today, spraying some Seraphon in the bone colour, getting ready to paint them. But then I looked at the thermometer and it's about 9 degrees and very windy. So, yeah. I know what you're going to say. Super, just spray inside. We've all been there. Yes, very true. It's a bit nippy on the bike though, I think. I don't know, instead of my leather jacket, I'm going to have to start wearing my textile jacket. Nice and snug in that though. Oops. These mould lines on these thrusters are a bit of a pain, I tell you that. Any mould lines on kind of round spherical pieces are a pain. Did anyone else have nightmares about Rumpelstiltskin last night? Or was it just me? Oh, thank you for putting it in centigrade and Fahrenheit. That's pretty good. Yeah, it's 9 degrees C here. But then again, aren't you coming into your summer, Scott, in Australia? Must be spring at the moment there. What I'll do is I'll just change this quality to like 420. No, potato quality. There you go. That's better. Yeah, I do like the interchangeable weather in England. Like, it doesn't rain as much than in Scotland, and it doesn't get as cold as in Scotland, but we also have some warm summers as well. And I do like the seasons. I mean, I've been to a few places, and I don't know, for me, I just get bored of like the same weather a day, you know, day in, day out. Just I like the variations, I like the seasons. I think if I lived in like a really hot country, tropical or something, or even dry heat, I'd wanna go skiing or something, you know. I'd want to go somewhere where it's chilly or autumnal. The only thing about the weather is obviously it's temperate, isn't it? Like, you think you can prepare for it, and then it can rain, be sunny, snow, windy, all in one day. So I watched an old video that I made a while ago, and my hands, my fingers had like dry skin, and yeah, it's just made me appreciate kind of how nice my hands are looking. I guess they're like no dry skin, no bits and pieces. It's all nice and smooth. They look moisturized, but I don't know what it is. Yeah, it's just something I noticed on an old video. I don't think there's any secret if anybody's watching that, you know, wants to improve their hand health. It's certainly not hobbying. I don't think this does wonders for your hands. You know, if anything, it probably dries them out. There you go. That's a bit better. Um, 11 degrees centigrade there. Okay. Oh yeah, oh crikey, 30 to 40, you can't sleep. That's the thing, yeah. At least in the winter here, we can wrap up warm, and we can potentially put the heating on if you're rich, and heated blankets, all those kind of things. But there's nothing worse, I don't think, than it being silly hot if you don't have aircon. Most people in the UK don't have aircon. I think it's like 4% or something actually have aircon, and you just can't sleep. Yeah, there's nothing worse than that, I don't think. Oh yeah, must be warm south of the States. How are the mould lines on the jump packs? Thanks for their question, Scott. On the jump packs, they're fine. It's just the thrusters that are a bit awkward. I'm gonna think that there's gonna be some issues here. Look, you can already see the join lines. Look, so that will be need to be filed over again, I think. But the gaps here, work with it. I think they're fine. Yeah, they're not as sort of bad as I thought that they would be, so that's cool. Jump pack looks nice. You know. Again, it's another kit where there's only 5 of them, so it shouldn't take too long and be relatively straightforward. Having an early lunch. Wow. Or as the hobbits would call it, a second breakfast. Or is it 11's? I'm fully refueled. I shouldn't need any sustenance until probably 1 o'clock maybe. I'll grab another coffee in a moment though. Right, so we can put these thrusters. Now how do these thrusters... they've even got the little... that's quite cool. Just in case you... drip. Just in case you were wondering. Can you see that, guys? If I just zoom in. There's a little R for Robin Hood. No, it's obviously for right. And then we'll have an L, a little L. Yep. So just in case you do mix them up, they've gone to the trouble of CAD designing the letter R on these. Not quite sure how they go on though, because they could go on. Oh, okay. So there's the flat piece which I want to put there. I don't know. I'm still at a loss because the shape doesn't match the shape of the thruster. Like I want to think that it goes like that, but well, we're going to put it like that. Yeah, we're going to do that. It does match up. Just me being silly. So you want the flat side there to line up with the inside of the pack. These are quite nice jump packs. I can see they're making some other units. Vanguard, maybe? You could design some Vanguard. You know, we've got the Stern Guard, haven't we? And the Honor Guard. Why not have the Vanguard? Weren't we going to get some Tyrannic War Veterans as well? That would be pretty cool. So each jump pack is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 parts each, if anybody wanted to know. There we go. So all the jump packs done. Let's build this body of this sergeant then. We've got it down to -4. Oh, sprue goo or just a little filing. I think a little bit of filing. Yeah, you don't need sprue goo for that. A bit of filing would clean it up, and then the paint is going to hide it as well. Yeah, they sometimes do letter parts. They sometimes do. In your opinion, would the standard intercessors, incinerators, hellblasters, arms fit these bodies? Well, let me cut out a body and I'll tell you. Give me a moment while I do this. 50 and 49. There's 50. I can't see why not, because they're not plug and socket. They are just smooth connection points. I can't see why that would be an issue. 56 and 55. Got a nice tactical rock. Something that these have got that normal Legacy Space Marines don't have are calf thrusters. Look at these little calf thrusters. I don't know if you can see them. I think that's quite cool. I don't know how that integrates with the rest of the suit, where it gets its fuel from, but that's, yeah, I think that's a nice touch. In a way, I guess it plays on if the main pack gets hit, you've got some redundancy built into the suit to slow the Space Marine down. They probably would survive falling from some height, but I think that's quite a nice feature. And it's not, it's just another part of the suit that would have to be targeted in unison to disable it. So you kind of have to target the jump pack and both of those two thrusters to have a chance of knocking one of these down. And because these calf thrusters are not head on, it's likely that these jump packs intercessors would survive better than the old school ones. Anyway, that's just me just kind of thinking out loud there about the physics again in made up universe, but that's what I do. Right, this power sword, it looks more like a saber than a gladius or something, if we compare it to the Terminator sword. It's a similar sort of length, but it's got that guard, hand guard. 53. There's the flamer, which we're not going to use. Who uses a hand flamer? Seriously. I mean, the power fist I can get behind. And because they're flat connection points, you could use these on like normal intercessors or normal assault intercessors, I think. You also get these cool little armor shields, purity seals and things. There's a fair amount of little options you get. They seem to have put the options on all of their Marines as well. I might put a couple of purity seals on their pauldrons. Okay. We still need to find 54. That's 53. Again, I don't think these weapons are specifically like the chainsword and stuff reserved for the sergeant, I think you could swap them about. 54 we're looking for. This is the one. Even though it is lettered, all of these are lettered like E. I think we're done there. Couple of pauldrons. Now we've got a standard one, and then we have a. Oh, they've all got this. Okay, that's a bit odd then, that the sergeant doesn't have a fancy pauldron. You might want to just put some purity seals on it. But like I said before, you do get a helmet that is not got a head in, so you could put a helmetless sergeant and then just have the helmet attached to the side. Interestingly enough, that they've built 3 of their jump pack intercessors without helmets. Okay, right, let's get putting together this the sergeant. Just read a few more of your comments. That will be mixed with the new stone guard. Yep. Yeah, Blood Angels. Yep. Is it? It's not a Furioso. I've forgotten its name already. How easy would it be to cut these off their tactical rocks? Easy, very easy. This sergeant just has a tactical rock on his left foot. The right foot has nothing, and I don't know if this probably helps Maxim, but if you just want to zoom in, you can see that you could clip that off quite easily. I'll check the others as well as I go along, but really cool question, thanks. In your opinion, out of all the new boxes, what one gets the most bits left over? Well, I've only built the Terminators, and I would say that the Terminators at the moment have the most number of parts, but I could be wrong. This set could have more. We'll see. I think these sets have more parts left over than any of the others, like the Honor Guard and the Stern Guard. But I haven't got all the sets, so I can't give you a fact about that. Other than there are quite a lot of spare parts for the Terminators. Yeah. Green stuff the hair blowing in the action of the jump packs. That's quite cool, yeah. If you're Blood Angels, that is. No, they're not that vain, are they? More Emperor's Children. Right, which I'm going to use this shield, I think. This shield looks very cool. And I'll probably pick up a purity seal. Set of purity seals. Right. Yeah, torso first. We will be building all 5 of these today, however long it takes. You'll be pleased to know. Much like we did with the Terminators yesterday. I think these probably be quicker, but the mould lines on the legs are the things that will slow me down with this kit. And potentially the mould lines on the chainswords. They do suck, those ones. Yeah, chainsword mould lines are annoying. Well, what we can do for you is we can do a little bit of research, which is something that you could have done quite quickly. But as I'm here, Sternguard do have a lot of parts, 171. I think that's more than the Terminators. 171 to... This thing is, there's so many Terminators. So many. There they are. Terminators have 140. I think I said 160 recently, so that's wrong. Then we've got Honor Guard. Is it the Honor Guard? I have to go new and exclusive now. It could well be Sternguard, though. I think you might be right. New releases. Brutalis has... oh, Brutalis only has 131. The Company Hero, should I say. They have 90. Wow, not many at all. And then the Desolation Squad have about 500. They have 120. And then what about the jump packs? I'll say 120 as well, maybe 130. 108. Yeah. Okay then, so it goes Sternguard, then Terminators. That's quite a lot of pieces for the Sternguard then, isn't it? Well, I'll be picking them up anyway for next weekend. Let me know if you'd like me to build them in stream. Well, I could build on the Company Heroes on Saturday, and then I could build the Sternguard on Sunday, if everyone is up for that. In between me playing Spider-Man, which I know I'm going to absolutely enjoy. Morning, Dean. How are you doing? Would love to see a full Primaris collection from yourself. Yeah, that would be good. I'd love to see more members. But yeah, those videos take a long time, and I've probably got more Primaris than I've got a lot of Primaris that aren't built, like Dreadnoughts and Intercessor squads and things like that here and there. But yeah, those kind of videos, like the collection videos, take a long time. They take many hours. I wouldn't fit them all on this table, no way. Not with all of the tanks and things I've got now. So it'd have to be like a floor job to put them there. And I'll spend all those hours finding them all, setting them up, recording the videos, editing the videos, for people just to say they're not painted. And this is the thing, like, it's just not worth it. It really isn't, like, because it's so easy to say that. And the thing is, even if I sprayed them and just painted like 3 colours on them, people would still say they're not painted. So I need to build the other Astraeus as well. I built one Astraeus, and I was trying to build the second Astraeus. I mean, the thing is, I don't think I've got a lot of Primaris. There's a lot from the Imperium magazine, the Hachette Partworks Imperium magazine, that I did not build. I've got so many Redemptor Dreadnoughts, it's insane. And on Thursday and Friday and Saturday. Oh, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Your favourite are the Assault Intercessors. Okay. Oh, okay. So have you picked up any of the 10th edition Space Marines then, Kriegsman? It sounds like you haven't, just by the way you sort of said that you're sticking with what you're doing at the moment. I'm going to try and avoid the Desolation Marines. I can't bring myself to get them. I think they just look silly. They really do. I've got to think of find a head for this sergeant. One with laurels or a skull. There he is. And then I think the other 4 are the same. There's something satisfying about it. I think it's more satisfying seeing everything not painted than a couple of things part painted. Like, case in point, like, that looks worse than if it was just in grey, because that's part painted, and there's a lot of work to do on that. But compared to like my bae, who didn't feature in last night's video, but for your Sunday viewing pleasure, you can feast your eyes on her now. Yeah, I just think that looks better. But then again, I need to spray her all over and give her a good shade, good coat, 2 thin coats, probably. Yeah. I need to get her painted up. I wouldn't mind getting that new Troggoth King dude. He looks quite fun. But he's not available separately, is he? He's in that paywall of a Rockgut Troggoth set, where you have to get 6 rock. I've got enough Rockgut Troggoths from the battle tomes and things, the battle forces. When did yours arrive? What? When did these arrive? Yesterday. Release day was yesterday. Just the launch box for Leviathan. Okay. Okay. You sold a kidney, ordered the Dreadnought Terminators. Wow, you ordered a lot. That's a lot. Yeah, that is a lot. No, I didn't order that much, but then again, I did cover every Tyranid release and every Seraphon release, and I have bought 2 Cerastus Knights, so and the Horus Heresy set, so that I've done well, you know, for the channel. I've you know, I this is the thing. The reason why I didn't get the Space Marine stuff is because I just don't support what they're doing with the releases. Like, there's no fear of missing out. These models are going to be around for decades. I can't trust Games Workshop to stagger their releases, so I'm going to do it for them, basically. That's the way I look at it. Much like if you don't agree with the pricing of a set, just say no, and the best way of saying no that big companies understand is just not giving them your money. You know. But I will get a few of those next week. Again, not because I want to. Like, I don't want the Brutalis. I don't want the Stern Guard or the company. I don't really have any use for them. I'm going to get them for the channel to give you guys a look at them. Like, I don't really want these jump pack intercessors. The only 2 things I really wanted, I wanted the Terminators, and I kind of wanted that Chaplain, just because of the shield, really, because we've never had that. But everything else, including that 10th edition Codex, is just yeah, for the channel to show you guys, and hopefully that will make up your own minds. Any thoughts you are willing to share on the reveals for the Warhammer Fest? Yeah, this is a thing. Like, I should have done a video yesterday, but I say I should have done a video. I did 7 videos. I made 7 videos yesterday, and then I did the 4-hour live stream. So I think I contributed a fair bit yesterday. I might make a video later today, after this live stream, about the reveals. If only to give everybody a place to vent and put their comments and opinions, I think. People seem to like doing that more on YouTube videos than Discord. You ordered through Games Workshop. Oh, okay. Yeah, that's not good. I mean, if you ordered the 2-week pre-order window like 2 weeks ago, and they're not coming until next week, yeah, that's quite bad. I ordered all my stuff from a third-party seller, and it just happened to all arrive yesterday. Hello Artie, how are you doing? Any difference between the helmets for the jump packs and the standard primers? No difference, no. Oh, the jump packs, hang on. Between the helmets for the jump packs. No difference, they're the same helmets. They look exactly the same anyway. No difference, it doesn't seem. Stiltman will be hard to transport. I would rather get the cost of Stiltman in pound notes, you know, in actual cash, and film myself just pouring it down the drain than buy him. That model is so bad, it makes me want to reach for my lighter and burn my entire Adeptus Mechanicus army. Honestly, the only thing that model is good for, that unit is good for, is painting the undercarriages of my Titans. It's just such a shocking model. I wonder how the designer can sleep at night. If ever there was an argument for Games Workshop to stop disclosing the sculptors, designers' names on models, which they used to do a lot, and that would be cool because you go to events and you'd be like, hey, you're the person that designed the baby carrier or whatever. That model would be it. I wonder if like every range has that one model. Space Marines is a large range, so they have a few of those. The Mario Kart quad bike thing is one such model. So are the Desolation Marines. So is the sort of stealth dreadnought. Mechanicus now have their one. I mean, the Electro Priests, yeah, well, put it this way, I don't own any, so that speaks volumes. But the Desolation, the Electro Priest, not too bad. But now, with old Rumpelstiltskin, yeah. Can you think of any other models other than like the baby carrier for Grey Knights? Any other models in any of the other ranges that completely ruin that range for you? This is your time to vent about ugly models. Yeah, good point, Brandon, good point. And also, Discord, you kind of have to be a member of the Discord. It's free, but you have to kind of, there's a few more hoops to jump through to get into Discord and things. Whereas YouTube, anybody with a mobile phone can just put a comment on, can't they? All right, yeah, that's fine. You don't need to say sorry. You know, just make sure you've got shares in Games Workshop as well, because that is what a good what's that, 400 quid or so of your hobby, I say budget. You know, that's a good sort of 400 quid. You only cherry pick Space Marines. Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Oh, I'm always leaning towards 30k. I'm 30k. Horus Heresy is my favourite. You know, it has been for quite some time, really. You know, 40k for me is, yeah, kind of dropped since after the Death Guard and things. I mean, some of the Custodies were nice that we got, but yeah. You would have preferred if the Marines had a staggered launch? Definitely, yeah. I prefer if everything has a staggered launch. Tyranids didn't have a staggered launch. Everything was released on one day. Yeah, I'd much rather these things have staggered launches because they can't keep up with demand. They can't make what is being demanded. It's all right if you're having full launches where all of the orders can be fulfilled, but they can't manage that. So just stagger them, you know, over like a month or something. If you can wait for like a few months after a new army or new models have been kind of showcased, I'm pretty sure you can wait a couple of weeks. And the only real like rush to get all of the models at the time and the rules and things is for like a tournament, like a paid tournament. There's no reason why people have to rush and get all of the new models for an army just to play with their best mate at the weekend. Like, that's nice, but I don't think it's a good enough reason to release everything. As I say, especially when they can't meet demand. I mean, I like to get things, and if you think about it, yesterday I got these four new products, kits. I would rather have that experience times 4. So for the next 4 weeks, I would have rather next weekend I get hold of jump pack intercessors. Then the weekend after I pick up the chaplain. Like, you're times in that dopamine or whatever you want to call it by 4 instead of one big release. Right, I can glue this sergeant. I've been rattling on for ages and it has taken me a while, but what we can also do is eyeball a hole for the plasma pistol. Yeah, that looks about central. Okay, right, let's glue the torso together and everything else. I'll glue him and then I'll go get a drink because it has been an hour and a half. I would say I'm halfway through the stream, but this stream's going to be over 3 hours as well. I've got a feeling. Okay, already I'm thinking that these legs are a bit tricky to put together because they're not quite plug and socket. Oh, how does this slide on? Okay. That is really quite odd. That's odd, the placement of these grenades in the pouches, because as soon as he extends his leg, his pauldron's going to squish whatever's in that pouch. That is really odd. I don't like that. Yeah, I don't like that. That just looks silly. I think it's optional though. You can choose not to have that on. Yeah, up to you if you want to do that. As I mentioned already, it's flat contact points, so you've got complete freedom of kind of movement of this sword and things where you want it to go. Would help if I did a better job at cleaning that up though. We could. I put the jump pack on last, I think. Let me just read some more of your... you're so buying me that mini... Oh, God. That baby carrier is bad, Revan. It is terrible. In lore, it's fantastic. Like, in the books and stuff, it's really, really cool. Soulblight Big HQ was really dumb. Oh, yeah, yeah, good. Yeah, the big vampire type creature thing, yeah. Nice comment, Scott. I like that about your budget. Yeah, I wish for that Soulblight vampire thing, they could have just stuck with one. Either a really big vampire or a really big kind of dragon type creature. Not halfway in between. And the paint, again, the paint scheme didn't do it justice, I don't think. What Wargear options are there? For the Sergeant, you've got Plasma Pistol, Hand Flamer and Heavy Bolt Pistol. And for the melee weapon, you've got Chainsword, Power Fist and Power Sword. Hope that helps. Oh, thank you, Gian, about the Terminators. Yeah, they're pretty cool. Just read the comment about the grenades. I'm not even sure why Primaris have grenades. If you've watched Pariah Nexus, you'll know that they're not very good at throwing grenades. They're also not very good at piloting Thunderhawks either. I think that's the reason why in a lot of the animations they mainly show the Thunderhawks being blown up or crashing or whatever, because they know that if they didn't have them destroyed, they'd just be OP, and the Machine Spirit would just turbo laser everything. Yeah, shoulder pauldrons, I think, for now. Very meh. I haven't got a massive amount of excitement for this. I have for the captain, which I wish I'd, built yesterday, but that's a different story altogether. Okay, so we've got some purity seals here that we could use, and we've got some little boxes of keys, and you do get 5, so I think I should really use them. And we're going to use this shield as well. Let us put the jump pack on though. First of all, that goes on quite nicely. I am obviously going to clean up the jump pack with those joins, but that gives you an idea of him. He's just a bit boring, isn't he? He's just a bit boring. Like, he's just a bit boring. Compared to this bad boy, which is my favourite pose that I put this Terminator in, he just looks blooming excellent. I think it's the poses, isn't it? It's the poses. The poses they've gone for. I would like him to be a bit more horizontal, maybe. Right, let's put this little shield thing on. Apparently that slots in, I guess, there. Will that be a bit too much for him? I think it might be, Let's see how this works. Well, doesn't want to stay on my table, I'll tell you that. I don't know if we'll put the shield on. The shield looks massive and a bit silly. It doesn't look like he can move his arm as well if he's got that shield on. Oh, we'll put it on because they've put it on. Why not? Good night, Scott. Yeah, nice to see you. Have a good one. Yeah, we'll put that shield thing on. Why not? I kind of want to put a purity seal on his on this shoulder pauldron now. Nah, we'll leave that as it is. And we could put one on here. Yeah, that works. Right. There, that looks a bit better. Yeah. Let's just file this down a little bit. Okay, that's the sergeant. He just looks a bit, well, whatever. He just looks a bit odd, bit boring, I think. Maybe because I haven't got the head in the right position or something. Maybe the sword isn't in the right position. But that is the sergeant anyway, so that's him. So that's that one done. Okay, we've got some extra bits and bobs. They've put this, I think it's this piece, is it? Yeah, they put this like book thing. I might put that on him. Really jazzing him up, aren't I? And then we'll get ready for the other 4. He is getting a bit of bling, yeah. Bling my sergeant at the moment, this guy. Right, let's see if we can buckaroo this. Yeah, he's got a lot going on now. Cool, a bit better. Right, so let us. I'm going to clip out all of the pieces required for the next 4 now. We can do this, and then I'll grab myself a drink. So 2 and 3. And as I say, I'll be back next week, probably live streaming Spider-Man on Friday, because I do have Friday off, which is quite nice. What leg was this? 16, I think. But then I'll be back on Saturday morning. Saturday evening. To build the... I want to build the heroes, I think. And then, as I say, the Stern Guard for Sunday. So I'll be back around this time on Sunday. Okay, right. That is that one done. Full sprue complete. So many empty sprues here. I need to like put them all in a bag and take them to Games Workshop. So next body then. 19 and 18. $24, $25. Again, all of these other tactical rocks that I'm looking at seem to be quite easy to clip off, which is good news. And all of the pouches and things seem to be optional. Another plasma pistol. I don't know if it's legal. Anyone with a codex could help me out. But I'd like to add a plasma pistol. They haven't done that in their unit. I'm sure I had a codex somewhere nearby. Let me just find that out. Okay. Oh, I've got the codex. Thank you for that. Fast attack, I'm thinking. Comes after elites. Assault squad. Okay, up to 2 assault marines can each have their bolt pistol and Astartes chainsaw replaced with one of the following: 1 plasma pistol and 1 Astartes chainsword, or 1 flamer. For every model in the unit, you can take an eviscerator. So obviously these are like the old rules. I'm guessing that one of them can have a plasma pistol, and of course the sergeant can have a plasma pistol. So we're going to build it with a plasma pistol anyway. For the rule of cool, if we find out that it's like an illegal Wargear option, then if ever I was to ever play a game with it, I'll probably just say it's a heavy bolt pistol. So right, next body. Oh, have you got 2 options here? Because it's here. 30 and 35. Four, 33. Two, 36 and 38 and 37. And then I guess this is the last one. So yeah, 2 sprues. I preferred the Terminator box set. I'll tell you that right now. I wouldn't rush out and buy another one of these. And the only reason why I wouldn't rush out and buy another Terminator kit is simply because I've already got 5 from the Leviathan. Right. That is all of the parts taken out. Time for a drink. All you want is a bolt gun and a chain axe. Is that too much to ask? Yeah, for loyalist it is. Not for traitor. Traitors normally have the chain axes, don't they? And there's plenty of chain axes if you collect world eaters. You know. So I'll just go grab a drink. Everyone, it's about that time. I've been live streaming for almost 2 hours. So let's pop that there. Spared no expense. Right, just grab a drink, and we'll continue with the last 4. Okay. I am back. Thank you for your patience. It's always good to just, you know, after a couple of hours, or after an hour really, get up and walk about, all those kind of things. What other legions use chain axes? Oh yeah, go on then. Tell me other legions that use chain axes, and bring me proof as well. I mean, these aren't legions for one. This is 40k, and this is you know, chapters. And have we ever had any loyalist chain axes? Maybe Space Wolves, maybe. But Salamanders, I've never seen any. I haven't seen any for Ultramarines or Imperial Fists, definitely not. Don't think I've seen any for Blood Angels, Black Templars, White Scars. They normally use like sabres, don't they? So that's all the loyalist chapters covered. Right, let's clean these parts up. I'd rather see some of the other like esoteric weapons that other legions like train with as options, not as like mainstay weapons like the chainsword. You know, but kind of more unique weapons. Probably like chapter relics, maybe. And I know Dark Angels have all the best weapons, so I'd like to see some of their weapons be showcased in miniature form, represented in miniature form. Yeah, we will use this plasma pistol. Yeah. So are all Terminators vets, or has that changed now since new scale? No, I think they're still veterans. It's just obviously, if you know about the lore, on the base level, if you know about the lore, you'll know that, you know, where we are in the time frame. I think it's only like 200-300 years into like the 41st millennium or so. So into the Indomitus Crusade and Primaris taking an active role because of Guilliman and stuff. So, you know, a couple 100-300 years. Yeah, now is about time that we're getting sort of veterans and things that are Primaris. So yeah, now we're getting Primaris being able to use the Terminator armor. In terms of what's changed, well, you'll just have to wait for my review, I guess, where I'll compare them to other Terminators. There's more detail on them for sure. Options, well, it's nice that you get sort of similar options in terms of like the missile launcher and the heavy flamer and stuff. Chain axes were common weapons. Well, you still haven't answered my question, Brandon. You still haven't answered it. You know, you must understand when you're talking to me, you're talking to a guy that's read the majority of the Horus Heresy novels. Like, I'm completely up to date with all the Siege of Terror. And I've got a very good memory for when one Space Marine uses a different type of weapon and when another one doesn't, or when they're in the dueling pits, or, you know, on board their flagships and things, fighting, using the different weapons. I know there's a little bit of civilians and things, civilian stories in the Siege of Terror books, but there's also obviously a lot of Space Marine on Space Marine action. But yeah, it'd be good if you could, like, yeah, answer my question. That would be nice. So do they not make Terminator armor anymore? Where does it say this, Ratchet? So do they not make? They obviously have to make Terminator armor to fit Primaris in. The old Terminator armor won't magically fit a Primaris in. So this is new Terminator armor. I have to be careful because I fall into the trap of assuming that everybody reads what I read and is up to date, and I should stop. Should stop with those expectations. That's probably one of the reasons why I go off on my tangents and things, is to give everybody the sort of up-to-date info. Because I think some people, you know, are kind of, they know a little bit about the lore and are a little bit interested. And maybe for some people, they'll just get the models, build them and paint them, and maybe have a few games, and that's it. But I am incredibly passionate. I wouldn't have made about 4,000 videos if I wasn't. Maybe I'm so passionate, it goes back to that hype thing again, the hype train. Like, maybe I'm so passionate that I don't want to affect people's expectations by bringing rumours into the play. Like what we were talking about yesterday about me not needing to know about rumours, spoilers. Because they don't always pay off. Sometimes they pay off. Okay, cool. Yeah, Terminator armor is very, very rare and expensive to make. And we're just talking about like the Indomitus pattern Terminator armor, which is relatively cheap Terminator armor, definitely compared to Cataphracti. But even for that, like, it was relatively cheap back in the Horus Heresy compared to the others. But now, you know, sort of 10,000 years later, like all of their technology, it's yeah, a bit tricky, you know, 10,000 years of like losing STCs, and even more so with the Cicatrix maledictum, like with the galaxy split in half. You know, with the lion completely cut off from Gilliman, and you know, all of that. It's must be even more difficult to resource and replenish supplies, even for Gilliman, you know, who kind of, that is his thing, politics and logistics. Yeah, definitely, Kriegsman. I agree with that. But it's a conflict for me, because I would preach that mantra excessively. However, I also have a channel to run where I pride myself on bringing everybody first looks and reviews and things of the newest minis. So I'm always in a conflict of you know, just because I do get the minis and I get them quite fast, it's no support. I can't think of the word, but you know what I mean. There's no support of them in a way. Like, I don't agree with the notion of the releases, or even what the releases include. It is merely to get you them as quick as I possibly can, so that you make up your own mind quite quick. Right, we're at the sort of filing stage for these. I think I will file all of them, and then I'll glue them all together. And then we will go on to the captain, why not? Can you get a closer look at the Terminator Captain? Of course you can. This is the Terminator Captain. Chaplain even. Terminator Chaplain. He's nice, he's alright, he goes well with the others. He's got a big shield, you don't have to have the shield. You've got 6 different options there. Helmeted head, helmetless, 2 different types of Crozius, and a shield, or the Stormbolter. If you could move his hips and his legs, I probably would pick up a second one with the Stormbolter. But the thing is, I've got so many chaplains and so many chaplains and Terminator armor that this is enough for me, for him. So, but he does go well with the new Terminators, obviously the size and things. Yeah, of course, Creaseman. Yeah, you know, whatever works for you. Whatever works for all of you individually, really. This is the thing. Like, try and rule out the FOMO. You know, the fear of missing out. These minis and things. Like, the only thing you're going to miss out on is saving a bit of money on an already expensive hobby. And what I mean when I say that is the Horus Heresy box set yesterday. I know it's sold out in a number of third-party places, which is a discount on top of a discount in a way. But don't lose heart. You know, you can still get the minis individually, and they'll still be around for a long time. And you know, it's unfortunately, Games Workshop just decided to release a lot of Space Marines in a short amount of time. All of the new Space Marine releases in one day, and now a box set with 30 Space Marines. You know, within the next few weeks, they'll probably announce the Battle Forces, and of course there'll be a Space Marine one. I don't know whether it'll have any of these new Space Marines in, but it could have some of the Leviathan ones. And again, you've got to make that decision whether you think those sets are going to be worth it. The mould lines on the legs are pretty bad on these. There's a lot going on though, a lot of detail on these legs. Yeah, it will always be still available on GW Maxim because of their 2-week pre-order window. Whether you'll get them on the day or not is another matter now. I don't think they're going to remove that set for at least 2 weeks. So although they're saying that you can sort of order it, I do question whether they do have it in the background. For sure the third-party sellers have run out of their allocated stocks, and even then they've probably taken orders for ones that they haven't got, which we've both experienced before. The Lion was a classic example. The Lion, I ordered that in July, beginning of July, on release day, and I didn't get it until sort of middle of September. And all the time that it was delayed, it was still available on GW. So again, you really got to factor in whether it's worth the wait. Like, have you built and painted all your miniatures? And if you haven't, then you can wait. For me, it's a bit different. Like, I can always wait because of the backlog, but I also can't wait because there's a bit of a time limit for me to get a video out. The Terminator Captain. No, I think you're talking about the Terminator Captain. No, the Terminator Captain didn't release. Neither did the Scouts. Yeah, the Scouts didn't release. The Scouts are coming later on with the reveals yesterday. The Scouts are coming in a Kill Team box set with Striking Scorpions. So they're behind a bit of a paywall. I'll have so many captains in Terminator armor as well as chaplains. small ones on the heads aren't too bad. Helmets, not too bad at all. Oh yeah, don't get me started on super heavies that I need to build. I would like to find some time to build the falchion and the glaive. But I think I'll crack on with the Thunderhawk, your Thunderhawk on for this Christmas, as well as, fingers crossed, right, the Titanic. Can you show missile? Oh, sorry. You was tired and didn't see it yesterday. Of course I can. Yeah, of course. That's the Cyclone Missile Launcher Terminator. It's all right, I guess. That's my favourite pose, though, that I made. This Terminator sort of walking forward, firing. That's quite cool. If anyone has ever played like the Dawn of War games, kind of understand. I wonder if we'll see Terminators in the Space Marine 2 game. Your greatest struggle with the hobby is painting? Yeah. I like painting the least out of everything. Like, I would rather have a few games than paint. And it's mainly because I'm a perfectionist, so I'll paint something and I still don't think it's complete, whereas in other people's eyes it's more than complete. But that's a me thing. I'm not it's rare that I'm 100% happy with my own efforts. Because I just think if I am not happy with them and I don't think that they look good, how can anybody else be? And I guess I set my quality bar a bit too high, you know. These heavy bolt pistols are kind of like the same size as bolt guns, aren't they? Right, so the chain swords do have mould lines running along the teeth. Okay, so they are the most time consuming. Chain swords and the legs, most time consuming parts. You still have an Asterius somewhere in the house. Yeah, yeah. to sort of like sit a bit more comfy if I can. Yeah, that's better for me. Yeah, I can't really necessarily review these minis until I get the codex. And I'm not going to order the codex until sort of next week. Friday probably. Friday or Saturday I'll order them. I will get Imotech, I think, for the Necrons. Looks quite like a nice mini. But I'm not going anywhere near Rumpelstiltskin. Yeah, chainswords are a pain with the mould lines in every single tooth. Okay, we'll just build these as we go along, I think, probably best. Because then that gives you an idea of what the rest of these will look like. What do you think is the best loadout for the new jump captain? I'm going to be boring, and I've already picked my plasma pistol power sword, but I think power fist plasma pistol is also good. You don't get a melter, which is a bit annoying, because I probably would have gone fist melter. But this is the captain look. It's exactly the same options as you get for the sergeant. I would have liked to have seen something unique. Like, he's a captain. He's not a, lieutenants. You see lieutenants with Volkite pistols. So, why can't you get the captain with a Volkite or a melter? A bit disappointing. The loadout is the same as the sergeant for an actual captain. I mean, a captain of a company. I think I've already got a captain in jump pack armor, but not. Well, sorry, with a jump pack, but not an intercessor size 1. So, I mean, maybe hunt around in your bits box and probably find some better melee weapon or ranged weapon, but yeah, I would have gone Melter, like Inferno Pistol or whatever, and Fist. Just because he's going to be around jump pack intercessors that are, you know, heavily skewed at fighting hordes and weaker enemies. So they're geared up for close combat. So I would give the captain something against armor. Wow. That pose isn't too bad. Yeah, I can kind of get behind that pose a little bit. No, it's not monopose. Monopose would be kind of easy to build in a way. You can swap all the arms around, the heads around. The legs and torsos have to go together. Yeah, the legs will only go with the torsos, but the arms and the heads, the jump packs are all the same. You do. Oh dear, you do have some options, like some of the accessories, but some of the accessories will only go on certain intercessors. It's an alright kit, don't get me wrong, but the Terminator one is better. So, Thunderhammer Plasma Piston. No, Damien, you don't get it. You don't get it with the captain. No, you don't get Twin Lightning Claw. You know the feeling, you're excited for the new Space Marine, but it's another lieutenant. No, I'm not excited at all by that lieutenant. He's got a couple of options though, hasn't he? I will pick him up, but that's only because I don't have any lieutenants. You think you just take the shield from the Terminator captain? Possibly. You could do. You could do that. It's a very big shield though. I mean, definitely an anti-flak, anti-air device, isn't it? That captain's gonna survive. I actually do think I've got a Space Marine with jump pack with Thunderhammer Storm Shield. or combat shield at least. I know I've got one with a combat shield. Okay. What was one? Okay. These are actually taking me longer than I expected. Purity seals. I might put a purity seal on this one. I think of whereabouts to put it. Maybe there, yeah. And a box of bones. We'll give this guy the key. What's my favourite Horus Heresy book? Fury of Magnus. Well, Horus Rising is pretty good, to be fair. Yeah, Horus Rising is pretty good. But the Siege of Terror, Fury of Magnus is my favourite. Alfarius was good. That was hard to put down, that book. I don't know, I like the Solar War as well. That got me into John French a little bit. I like the way how he described, you know, what was going on. in space. The opening moments of the assault on Terra. Thought that was quite cool. He did a good job. There's some parts of the end and the death, you know. I don't know what it is, but Dan Abnett, I used to really like his Eisenhorn and obviously Pariah and stuff. But the new stuff, I'm not. To me, it just doesn't feel like Dan Abnett. I know that's probably hard to. It's hard for me to voice, but when I read Dan Abnett's new stuff, I don't. It's not as easy to read as his earlier stuff, believe it or not. Like oh, hang on, sorry, screen freeze. Yeah, it doesn't seem as easy to read, but that might just be me. I'm going to plug my charger in. It was on 90% when I started the stream. So I will just plug this in. I didn't think that it would wipe out 90% of the power. But then again, it has been nearly 3 hours, hasn't it? So let me just plug that power in. Bear with me. Seems like I can't get past a stream without having to plug it in. Maybe if I just plug it in at the start of a stream, then that will stop it from ever freezing. It only freezes because it's running out of power. It goes to like 20%, then it starts to freeze. Okay, just 3 Space Marines to go, and the captain under there. We're doing well. We're doing well. I don't know how you're doing with yours. Someone put in the Terminator build last night that they built their Terminators yesterday and painted them all up. So that's quite cool. They've done theirs. I mean, obviously, if I wasn't doing any videos and things yesterday, or live streaming, I probably could have made a good go at that. You've gotten a co-worker into Warhammer, he's gotten a friend into Warhammer. Yeah, I think that still counts. If you got someone into Warhammer, then they got someone into Warhammer, yeah, I think that counts. Still counts as you. By proxy. Because if you hadn't have got your friend into Warhammer, then they would not have got someone else into it. yeah, I think that's the only thing you can do, Krieg, is batch paint things. You know, when you're dealing with so many minis, have them on like a conveyor belt. I mean, if I wasn't so occupied with building these after I, you know, completed each one, like prepared each one, I would be cleaning up all of them in one go and then gluing them all in one go. But I kind of want to show you them as I'm cleaning them. Yeah, please do. You know, put in the comments what you're up to, how far you're getting with your hobby work. It's always good to find out what everyone else is doing. If you're having a hobby Sunday. Okay, so plasma pistol. Second plasma pistol of the set, you get 2. I'm hoping that the rules allow for 2. while I'm here, I might as well drill holes in the others. Yeah, these heavy bolt pistols. I'm going to finish the chainsaw, glue this one together, and go grab another drink just out of the fridge though, so just a quick cold drink. And then we've just got 2 left. Then I'll show you all 5 of them. How the build so far? Is there any copy paste marines? Copy paste marines? Don't know what you mean by that. Copy paste marines. What, as in like, are any of the marines look exactly the same? No. I mean, they're space marines, so space marines will have the same weapons, the same pauldrons, the same armor. You can swap all the arms about though, and the heads, although the heads are all the same. Well, not the helmetless heads at least. But comparing it to the Terminator set, I much prefer the Terminator set. I mean, I would have rather have had these 5 jump pack intercessors included in the Leviathan set than 5 of the Infernus Marines. Heck, I probably would have preferred 10 of these than the 10 Infernus. Part of me wonders whether Games Workshop just kind of invented them as like an alien reference, like, oh, there's a flamethrower, let's burn aliens, Xenos. So let's have a dedicated flamethrower unit. If I was going to design a dedicated flamethrower unit, I'd have them a lot like the heavy intercessors. So I'd have them kind of in big, thick armor, slower moving, so that they can take more damage, and that they're heavier, not because of the recoil from the flamer, but just so that they can withstand more ranged weaponry and still keep standing. I'd have them with bigger flamers as well, like heavy flamers, and then a new type of flamer, pretty much like the eradicators, really. Not just intercessors with flamers. No, I'd go all in, but then again, that's me. Okay, right, let's glue this one together and go and grab a drink. Copy and paste, send it. I think what I've discovered is it's probably a good idea to glue the marine on the base before you put the arms on. And it's the same for the Terminators, actually, I would say. In a way, it's cool that they've got lots of pouches and grenades and things. I think that works. God, this is an interesting pose. This guy is completely fallen over his rock. Oh. And then there's that. What a bizarre angle this Space Marine's in. This rock is a nightmare. Okay, this rock is an absolute nightmare. Needs to go really far back. Yeah, like very, very far back. Copy and paste pose, no. My dream, okay. No, they've gone back to Horus Heresy, where you have a specialized unit all with the same weapon. It's not like old, Legacy Space Marines. Yeah, I doubt they'll release a 10-man multi-part, multi-pose Infernus unit. Primaris Tactical Squad, no. I think they've gone back to Horus Heresy stuff, which is understandable considering it's Guilliman. But then again, Guilliman did create the Codex Astartes, so he was the guy that wanted Space Marines to be in tactical squads. It's really odd that he's gone back to specialized units. No, I don't think they will. Yeah, grenade throwing arm would be good with this set. Even some chainswords that are sheathed. That would have been cool. getting through a lot of glue at present. I might need to buy another pot. Oh. That's an alright pose. I can get behind that pose. That's fine. That. Let's put this on. Yeah, that's probably the best pose so far, I think. The poses are getting better the more I'm building them. Right. I better not forget to get that drink. Any bling for this guy? Yeah, we can put this little box on him. Right, well, we are past the 3-hour mark now for this stream. No doubt you guys will probably be able to build these jump pack intercessors in about 2 hours or so. Again, like the Terminators, you could probably build them and paint them all in one day. Let's see how we attach this thing onto this. I think that just went on very nicely already. Oh no, oh no, it has to somehow defy gravity and go completely the other way. Thank you for that, gravity. Oh. I think that's going to be okay. Cool. So that's
3 done, 3 down, 2 to go. Right, let me just go grab that drink. And then just the final 2. I'll literally be like 2 minutes, so don't worry. Oh. Okay. Right, kind of back. Managed to find a banana, which is quite rare. What weapons did you pick for the sergeant? Power sword and plasma. Right, let's crack on. With the final 2. I think with these final two, I'm just going to clean them up. And then I'm going to build them together in one process. I guess you guys could experiment with these jump pack intercessors with the poses and things and the different arms. As I say, they're all flat connection points, so there's no plug and socket. It's the same for the Terminators, they're all flat connection points. Yeah, the legs and the chainsawed are the parts that will take you the longest. Just because there's mould lines on them. Like, look at that. You've got to get rid of all those mould lines in the gaps on the rounded areas. Obviously, it goes without saying that they're harder to remove on rounded areas, especially like flat areas to a rounded area to another flat area. It's, with any degree of neatness as well. Like, you think you've got rid of them, and then you look again, and probably this will happen once you paint in these as well. You'll start painting them or spraying them, and you can still see something there. It is, yeah. I think the mould lines are actually worse in this kit than the Terminators. Yeah, those legs on the Terminators are fine. Even the heads on the Terminators, I didn't really have. The only issue I had was on the chain fists, which of course they're, chain blades, aren't they? But that's the only slowdown point. And I think if we look at last night's stream, that was about 4 hours worth. This stream is, well, 3 hours. I would have said that these take longer, but I was sort of messing about with all the poses and things with the Terminators. Whereas these I've kind of followed the instruction guide. I mean, the heavy bolt pistol isn't too bad because there's a lot of flat areas. It's just the chainsword in the legs, though. That's the real work. All right then. Cool. So we said we would carry on with this one, and get this one done. Yeah, I mean, you know, these two sets are pretty similar in that they are Space Marines and they're kind of like that is the unit, whereas the Stern Guard and the Heroes, it seems to me like each kind of Space Marine in both of those sets are quite unique. And the Stern Guard set at least looks like it's got sort of a lot of options. 90 parts for the Heroes isn't really that much. All right, Maxim. Well, thanks for for joining for the time. Hope it goes well. I'll see you later. Have a good shift. We are almost finished with these, so hope you managed to get some of your hobbying done today. Painting, building at your hobby desk or hobby area. If you're lucky to have a hobby area. Or some kind of shed, I don't know. Okay then, so that's this other leg done. Yeah, I actually will say right now the legs take the longest. Yep. Longer than the chain swords. Okay then, so that is the heavy bolter done. And the final piece, just this chainsaw. And then we can glue them both together. And that is the jump pack Intercessors complete. So and then I'll probably have a little break. Might go to the gym. And then I'll complete the captain. Then at least I've built all of the releases, or all that I've received, before I purchase any more. Is that done? Brilliant. Right, let's glue them. Good, that's good to hear. Right. Yeah, I was going to say, I think they look extremely good with Blood Angel stuff. I do actually own some Sanguinary Guard. I wonder if you could kit bash some Sanguinary Guard items with them. That's a thought. Nice one, Kriegsman. Nice one. I can glue both these together now, simultaneously. You'll be about until 10 o'clock. Wow. You've got like an 8-hour or 10-hour kind of hobby day or something. To be fair, I might play Forza, and at the moment, I'm preferring doing these than playing Forza. I'm not fully sold on it. Yeah, this pose isn't too bad either. That's annoying. Really that high up? You know what? I think it is that high up. Yeah. Did I? No, I didn't. I didn't clean up this piece. Oh, it's nice that you got a free Sunday then. Like me. Pop this jump pack on. And there we are. It's almost like this jump pack intercessors kind of barging his way through. We're about to swipe. Yeah, I think all these pouches and things will only go on certain intercessors, so you can't hot swap them. They are, some of them are lettered. Definitely the pistol holsters are lettered. I think it's all optional though. We've got another extra little piece here as well. 74, I think it's this piece. Where does this go then? On there. Okay. That side wasn't cleaned up, so we'll wait for that to dry and then we'll clean that up. And there we go. Right, that's these two done. They're quite cool poses too. Actually, the weakest pose is the sergeant. I think that's quite a cool pose. That's fine. I think that one is not too bad. Probably the second weakest. That one is quite cool. It's just the weakest pose is the sergeant, I think. And that might be down to my placement of the saber. It's not his head. Could be placement of the plasma. I might have needed to bring the plasma forward a bit. I don't know. I think it's just because he's not at an angle. He's kind of straight up rather than at an angle. Whereas the others are fine. I think they're fine. They work. So, yeah, all good. I'm going to, as I say, probably add a couple more purity seals and things on there. And then that is it for them. So I will be moving on to this captain. After I get back, and you'll see a review of all these. The review of these won't be next week. Next week will, be the unboxings. I'm a bit ahead of myself at the moment. But what spare parts do we get? So we get heavy bolt, pistol, power fist. They can all be used on normal intercessors or the assault intercessors, actually. Yeah. So I'll give you unboxings of these, 2 Tyranid videos next week as well. And then there will be the reviews of these. Well, actually, there'll be the unboxings of the other 4 units. And then the start of the review. And then we've got the unboxing of the Horus Heresy. But we'll have the reviews of these the week after, probably. Yeah, rather than next week. I'm a bit ahead of myself with the building things of these, but yeah, hope you've enjoyed this live stream again. Another almost 4-hour live stream, so thanks again for joining. I hope you found it fun. Thank you for watching. The Emperor protects.